Ah, my precious son, someday you will have the strength and dexterity to fight on your own. On that day, if you choose to compete, you will assuredly make mistakes. But you must not make my mistakes. You will experience embarrassing defeats, and at times even your victories will leave much to be desired. That is what it is like to play fighting games, after all. Let me tell you about my brief time playing Vampire Savior. For the past couple years, I've been playing the game in tournaments, scouring pages of Mizumi Wiki, watching matches on YouTube, and overall digesting knowledge at the expense of putting in actual practice. I joined the VSAB Discord and saw they organized an online tournament called Moment Slice Monthly. I didn't assume I was good enough to compete, but I practiced good etiquette. I used a wired internet connection, and I reported for my bracket at the time the tournament organizers told me to. No matter your skill level, son, remember to be punctual and be respectful of other players. As for how I played, well, my bad habits and bad tendencies presented themselves aggressively. Two things were apparent in my first set. I didn't know the victor matchup at all, and my defense was near non-existent. I was eating command grabs and fumbling fireballs. I was also way too eager to land jump-in kicks for some reason. Okay, not for some reason. See, in training mode I had latched onto using jumping medium kick or heavy kick as a combo starter, and my obsession with those, in particular, has been my undoing in a number of matches so far. I flailed in my second set, dashing in without purpose, hammering buttons with no thought for recovery time, and as a result, the Zabel player made short work of me. I misused Bishimon's fireball and its follow-ups. After I had been eliminated from my first competitive VSAV bracket, it was clear I needed practice. But I've always been gun-shy about playing online. Rather than seek match experience on Fightcade or the Capcom Fighting Collection, I ran through arcade mode a dozen times and convinced myself I was making progress. Some people can get along just fine doing that, but practicing against other human players will take you much further, my son. A month later, I strolled into another Moment Slice. There I got my first taste of Sasquatch. My nerves frayed as soon as I hit character select, not because I was intimidated, but because my controller suddenly wouldn't work. During this pause, I was alt-tabbing like crazy, telling the TOs to just disqualify me because I couldn't get this one simple thing right. Meanwhile, my opponent was performing a wellness check in the Fightcade chat. I told him all about my pad and how it wasn't working. No worries, he said, we'll play. And we did play. But I was terrified. After the controller sync issue, every mistake I made at the last monthly clouded my mind until all I could focus on was what not to do. With an already teetering mental stack on my end, my opponent got to take their first game from a quivering punching bag. It's okay to be nervous during a match. Remember to breathe, focus, but don't slow things down if things are still ramping up. On the loser side of the bracket, I got mauled by a Gallon player who didn't have patience for my slow, wind-up play style. Seconds later, I was on the floor. The bracket went on without me. At the next Moment Slice, my controller connected without a hitch, and I played much more confidently. Confidence is not competence, though. My sub-30-second losses started to make me impatient and reckless. I wanted to land big buttons and committal specials. But those are desires that can drive people to the loser's bracket. And I was driven to the loser's bracket. Again. I haven't participated in Moment Slice Monthly in a long time. But, thankfully, I found locals. Everywhere I've lived, son, I've sought the fighting game community. And through the FGC of the Twin Cities, I've found a group wholly dedicated to old fighters like VSAV called Retro Black Sheep. Here, I've hoped to do better playing games in person. To me, the competitive value of locals is that you can run a few casual sets before and after bracket, then workshop improvements face-to-face with other players. But be forewarned, my son. Locals may stream their brackets, so you may find yourself tripping over your own sword in front of a captive audience.
We want to build a VSAV scene back up. And so I believe ConManSlam is working with Ancient Carthage. Give credit, Ancient Carthage came all the way here from Canada, Banff. He loves Minnesota, comes to these events.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we got to show him a little love. We should probably put Canada in his tag next time. But yeah, ConManSlam I would say is definitely the stronger VSAV player. There's a couple of other stronger ones in our scene, but they couldn't make it.
Yeah, I remember initially meeting ConManSlam. They were talking about how they were playing VSAV prior to meeting us. Ancient Carthage taking that first round, though.
Yeah. Oh, Ancient Carthage took it. Oh, he is the Morgan player. That is correct. Yes, yes. All right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And man, I still wanted those jumping roundhouses. My lack of matchup knowledge showed here again, too. Morgan is one of several characters who can low-profile Bishamon's fireballs just by crouching. In the end, my first streamed match wasn't a total wash, but it wasn't a good showcase of what anyone would call skill. My next match on stream was against a confident Lele player. I was only a little impatient here, and I demonstrated that I've at least been working on my push blocking, but my nervousness took over again. I let my opponent set the pace of the fight and attempted to counter zone with my own fireballs and my execution block super. Then at close range, I just hopped around like a jackrabbit. Sometimes I remembered I had other buttons on my controller, though.
Definitely controlling the space in here.
Yes.
Alright, sorry, hopping back on the comms here. Nice air to air. It's like 1-1 right now.
Yes.
Good mix of definitely the aggressor.
Ooh, tries to go for the floor projectile. Doesn't quite get
A
it.
little risky, it's a little slow, but it's a shot. You gotta get out the corner against high school, because if I'm not mistaken, she has the super where she drops the spike balls on. If you're in the corner,
Well, that super can be especially terrifying just because it does hit overhead initially. So the idea is...
And after that loss, I wasn't out yet. Due to a small player count, this VSAV bracket was a round robin. I would fight 3 opponents at Retro Black Sheep's November monthly, and somehow I didn't leave in last place. My opponent had picked Anakaris, considered by many to be the lowest tier character in VSAV. Though, my son, you should know, low tiers can be deadly in the right hands. Even still, I knew Anakaris' weaknesses on paper, and I hoped they would pay off in the match. But how was I playing? I started whiffing normals to build meter, you know, because that's how they do it in Third Strike. And then one of us, probably me, accidentally paused during the match. Neither my opponent nor the commentator seemed to notice, though. This would foreshadow misery to come. See, at the time I was using DualShock 2 controllers connected using old PS2 to 360 adapters. These worked great, but whenever I would piano inputs, especially for push blocking and VSAV, I would often pause games on accident. I tend to overcorrect after these kinds of errors, so I began to use moves that required as few button presses as possible.
But Xander's doing a good job of just kind of keeping out, hitting some good buttons kind of along the way. Good overhead there. Just gotta be so careful.
And yeah, hey, my signature jumping roundhouse somehow clinched the first match, but a timeout ended the next one. Whatever. I walked away from this round robin with at least 1-2-0 victory. After scoring one win in 2024, I figured I had pretty good odds of winning at least twice in 2025. At Retro Black Sheep's inaugural 2025 monthly, I rematched Spiraler. Their victory was decisive.
Another character. Yeah, for sure. We got Spiraler in the corner here. ConManSlam showing some good pressure right here with those.
Very good pressure, yeah, absolutely.
Those bigger buttons.
Every time ConMan hits, it's doing some really meaty damage, which it's fun to see that. You don't see that in a lot of fighting games where just like one hit will just do a big old chunk of damage.
Yeah, exactly, but that's sort of offset by the regenerating health. You can see at the top there's like sort of like a flashing section of the health bar whenever they get hit. That health will regenerate over time.
But that makes the combo hits all the more important. You want to land your combo, you want to land multiple hits, or your damage output is just it's not going to be there.
Exactly, yeah, and it definitely favors a more aggressive playstyle, like we're seeing here from ConMan. Spiraler getting the sweep here, throwing out the items. Just trying to play keep out right now because Spiraler's got the round advantage right now. And the stun into the 10 hurt.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yep, Spiraler just doing a really good job keeping ConMan out of range here. And yeah, Spiraler is going to take this set.
That was quick.
Yeah.
That was a quick set.
Yeah, VSAV, fast game.
And Spiraler's quite good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Spiraler is very good at that.
Yeah, although ConMan also had some really good moments there of getting Spiraler in the corner and just keeping up the pressure with the long normals and the projectiles and just locking Spiraler down. It just wasn't enough damage.
It wasn't, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Win big, lose big, yeah?
Exactly.
My next set against Philly B was notable because I managed to take a stock off of him in both matches. Improvements can be incremental in fighting games, my son, but do not be discouraged. Keep playing and you may face someone who is closer to your skill level and win. Or you might lose again, as I did in the match that followed.
For a moment there, I thought we were going to see a Dimitri come out, but I was wrong. So we got Meridian Shanewood versus ConManSlam.
Yeah, ConManSlam. Oh, we're
back on the train again.
Back on the train.
Come and ride the train. And ride it. Chugga, chugga, choo choo.
All right. Seeing the rockets come out here.
Good zoning out of Meridian. And then getting in just a poke, like good damage output out of Meridian there. But ConMan is not letting get away with it. Yeah, ConMan is still coming in and going poke. I'm gonna make you hurt.
Ooh, this is the super.
That's unfortunate.
Getting punished for it here too.
Oh yeah, as well he should. Let's be honest. If you're gonna whiff it, you deserve to get blown up for it.
Oh, seeing the Dark Force come out here.
Good damage output. Took him out. So there's the first one, and Meridian brings it back.
Yeah, ConManSlam taking it back here. Yeah, we're going to round 3.
It's close. It's close, but you know what? It's still possible. Ooh.
That's getting Dark Force to come out again.
This time it's Meridian popping it.
Yeah, Meridian's actually using Dark Force really well here.
Yeah, really are. And
Empty jump low.
there's a win for Meridian.
Yeah, nice catch on the whiff punish there, just hopping over the sword normals and just saying, nope, I don't want to play the ground game anymore. We're playing my game. We're playing my air game right now.
Yep. Are we switching to Talbane?
Ooh, actually.
But, my son, know this. You do not need to dedicate yourself to one character. Our family may don the cursed armor, but do not be afraid to howl at the moon and become a beast of the night. Picking Talbane allowed me to express some berserker behaviors, I guess, but I was still flailing. My beast cannons were only used for positioning. I began throwing out supers full screen as though I would earn style points. And sure, I took 2 matches and won the set, but I'm not proud of how I played. I could have done so much better.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Sweet.
It's already starting to pay off. It's already starting to pay off a little bit. Now, well, we'll see where it goes. This was much closer than the last match, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I think
that was a whiffed super. That is really unfortunate. I think ConMan was trying to do something else instead and got the wrong button.
Yeah.
But ConMan just took the first bar.
Yeah. And Meridian's keeping it up here.
Yeah, it's still close. It's still very close.
The thing about Talbane is that he can get in for sure, but he can also get out really easily. And
a wise man knows when to run like a little bitch.
Ooh. Okay, ConMan is getting some tempo here.
Uh-huh.
I think the Talbane switch is definitely working. Got the EX.
It
dash
certainly
now.
is. Just a hit easy in the basket, no big deal.
I mean, there's probably a lot of
Don't tell the ATF.
There's probably a lot of things in that basket.
Do you really want to know?
I don't think Talbane wants to know. He's like shaking his finger like, no, you're not taking this game so easily.
All right, well that just brought it together.
Yeah, I think the Talbane switch is really working out here for ConMan.
This is working. It's good.
I think it's a combination of being able to pressure while still keeping yourself safe, and just having really good up-close pressure, being able to close the distance for Meridian zoning here.
And now Meridian is getting that zoning game going and poke, making it hard for Talbane to get in. But now we're getting somewhere. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
There's a lot. Okay.
Oh, wow. ConMan is looking to run away with this
bar.
game.
He might have. ConMan just might have this.
Ooh, nice TP.
Okay.
And the super coming out just to try and stuff anything. Just try and care. Wow.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Honestly,
all right.
Like, yeah, like I was saying, I see the vision.
Yeah.
I see why somebody would switch to Talbane in that instance. Like, I'm getting zoned out. I'm just gonna say no and just dash.
You're gonna try and zone me? I'm just gonna go. I don't care. I'm just gonna get right in your face. Exactly. Okay. All right. Yeah, do it. Why not?
The next monthly tournament was another round robin, and I faced the same opponents. Spiraler walloped me. My fight with Philly B not only was really bad on my part, it ended in the worst way possible.
Right, exactly. But alternatively, the same thing goes for Bishamon, because the fireball also puts you in a stun for a possible continuation.
Yep.
Lots of unblockable situations, so I feel like this is kind of a not the same character, similar idea.
Yep. Ooh, nice block. ConMan had reading that drill kick, blocking and getting a nice combo. There's Dark.
Dark Force, nice.
What's he gonna do with it? Not a ton. A decent, little bit of damage there. That's cool. That's good. Good stun.
Oh, it doesn't
but
get the
didn't do anything
follow-up.
with it.
Nope.
That's really unfortunate.
Now Philly B's got him in the corner. Gets super armor with the Dark Force.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Didn't do a whole lot of damage though. That seemed like a waste of a Dark Force.
I think they were trying to set up a bubble situation just because while they're
Oh,
in
yeah.
that Surfer mode, they can't take any hit stun. It allows it. Oh.
Oh no! Somebody hit pause. Who was that?
I think we had a little slip of the finger.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, who
I
did it?
think-
Oh,
I
no!
think they're calling it.
Oh, no!
Oh.
Oh, no! Disqualified!
And Philly B moves on.
Oof. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
That is really unfortunate.
I had started using dedicated fight pads like the PS2 ASCII pad. 6 buttons are nice and all, but if I got too excited mid-match, my thumb had a high likelihood of striking that start button. Off stream, I kept pausing games and got DQ'd a couple times. After that, I vowed to get a better controller, which I did. Have my results improved? But if you take away anything from this talk, son, let it be that all we can do is improve a tiny bit each day. As your father, I try to devote as much time to you as possible, so I can't improve at the same rate I once did. But if you find yourself busy with other things in life, don't forget that the game you love will always be there. While I'm raising you, I'll keep playing Vampire Savior when I can. I still have a long, long way to go before I'm decent, but once in a while my unorthodox style will help me score a win.